UFC Fight Night, Anthony Hernandez versus Robocop is upon us this Saturday, guys, and I'm heavily anticipating this somewhat decent fight night. Honestly, this fight night is not even great. Like, when you scroll, it's actually not that great. From a fight perspective, it's not too bad, but like, this is actually compatible with 330. Like, I'm not even trolling. But there's some interesting fights. I think I'm gonna go 100% on this card. You guys know, like, I'm a little bit strong. I'm the best predictor in the world. Like, you guys already know this though. Like, and I'm trying to make some bread on this card. Before we even get into this, guys, let's go through my PrizePick plays, guys. So I have some plays from PrizePicks, and I have a little lay that I want to show to you guys. First thing on this is going to be the Anthony Wint fight. I think it's going to be less than 4 minutes. Yes, you heard me right. Less than 4 minutes. And anyone who watched him on Dana White Contender Series knows that's not even a crazy thing to say. Secondly, I do want to say I feel like the Victor Petrino and Sergey Spivac fight is going to go more than 1.5 rounds. I feel like this might even go the distance. Like, something about I've noticed about two of these guys, they're both talented. So I could see kind of them both pushing each other, and it's probably not going to be a quick finish. I feel like people look at Victor Petrino and expect him to get a quick finish, but I don't think that's going to be the case for this fight. I think Sergey's coming off that great win against Ante Dolidze. He showed heart, and he like weathered an early storm. Even if Victor Petrino has him in an early storm, I think Spivac could weather it. I think Spivac could use his wrestling and grappling to slow Petrino down. I think eventually that's going to just elongate the fight. So I see this one going more than 1.5 rounds for sure. And as for Anthony Wint, like I said, I don't really got to explain this too much. If you watch him on Dana White Contender Series, you're going to understand why I think it's going to go less than 4 minutes. Like, I think the Dana White Contender Series was what, like less than a minute? Like, bro, he just goes in there and he goes for it. And I remember on Dana White Contender Series, he said he's not leaving this place without a contract and like another fight booked, and they gave him the Sacramento card, and I think he's gonna get it done. So those are my little PrizePick picks. Play 5, get 150 if you win your first lineup, and if that's gonna be your first lineup, congrats in advance. All right, let's go through the full card predictions now, starting with Chanel Dyer versus Ellis Reed. What better way to start off a card than WMMA? Yeah, I'm not very hyped for this fight, but honestly, this is an easy one to pick. I think Chanel Dyer is going to get it done against Elise Reed, who's not very talented. Elise Reed kind of goes in there and gets milked by people. Yeah, bro said milked. She goes in there and kind of just gets her ass whooped. That's kind of her role nowadays. So I think Chanel Dyer is going to beat her pretty comfortably. It should be, I don't want to even say quick one because you never know with WMMA, but I do think Chanel Dyer is better everywhere. It's probably going to be a striking match primarily, and I think Chanel Dyer is going to outstrike her. Dyer is good. She's not like a world beater. She's from England. I'm always wary from prospects from England. I don't know why I'm saying that, but like some of them are hit or miss. She just reminds me of Leon Edwards. Every black fighter from England, I just get Leon Edwards vibes, woman or female, does not matter, but Chanel Dyer should get it done. This is kind of battle of the mids right here. I like it though. Wes Schultz versus Jackson Mcvey. These are two long rangy middleweights. I think it's going to be have a lot to do with the striking in this one. If anyone mixing the wrestling is obviously going to be Wells. I don't think Jackson McVee's going to even see the need to. McVey, from what I've seen though, is like when he's comfortable on the feet, he starts to flow nicely. Wells Schultz I've seen some good fights from him as well. They're both coming off of wins. I think it's going to come down to who can use their range the best. And like I said, both guys are tall. They have the same amount of reach, and then Wes Schultz is just 2 inches shorter than Jackson McVey. But I do like the way McVey uses his kickboxing a bit better, so I'm going to actually lean McVey in this fight. I think he's going to beat Wes Schultz. Could be a fun fight, but I think Jackson McVey gets it done. He's just a real bad man. All right, we're going Jackson McVey for that one. This one's interesting. We got Gage Young and then Stan Dorsainvil, who's a Haitian making their debut, guys. Let me tell you something about Haitian fighters in general. I feel like it's like a notion. I didn't even do much footage on this guy, but I already know what type of fighter he's going to be. He's going to come in trying to chase a finish with heavy hands. Not the best technique, but like very good power. Gage Young's actually really good. Like I've followed Gage Young for a little bit. His striking's good. His fight IQ is pretty solid. He moves pretty well. I feel like he fought. Who did I feel like he fought? I feel like he fought Quillen Salkilled. I swear in Dana White Contender Series he fought him. That could just be me like mixing him up with someone else. But I swear it was Quillen he fought. And he did really well in that fight. If you guys remember that fight, he did really well. Gage Young is talented. He can mix it up the striking and wrestling really well. So we're going to see how this fight goes. I think he's going to school the Haitian who's supposed to be coming in here and like kind of making quick work of people. I just don't think he's going to make quick work of Gage Young. So I'm going to go Gage Young for the win in this one. He's talented. He's underrated. He's not the tallest, but like he's going against someone who's around the same height, same frame. So I just have a hard time seeing Gage Young just get caught with a shot and knocked out because because if that was the case, Quillen probably could have got him out early, but he seems to have a good chin and just good awareness all around. So he's a slight favorite in this one, but I'm pretty confident in that pick. I am going to go Gage Young for the win. Next up, Mauricio Barbosa versus Ryan Kuse, who's making his UFC debut. From what I'm hearing for this Kuse guy, he's not even bad, but he's not great. And when I'm hearing for this Barbosa guy, he's supposed to go in there and slam the dude out. 17-2, so he has a lot more experience than Kuse. Both guys aren't like Barbosa's giving up some inches though. He's 5'6", going against a 5'9" debutant. But I am gonna trust Barbosa because he does put on some pretty fun fights with high output. So we're gonna have to see how this fight goes. But I think the easy one is Marcio Barbosa. I didn't do enough footage on Ryan Kuse to like look for an underdog upset, but I'm just gonna trust I'm literally gonna follow the odds here, and I'm just gonna trust Barbosa. And Barbosa is a wild fighter, and I like the way he strikes. I feel like he has like fun fights. And I feel like he could drag people to waters they don't want to see. So if you're making your debut against Barbosa, I just have a hard time seeing you go out there and outperform him. He's a -800 favorite, which is kind of crazy, but it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. This fight's good. We got Chris Padilla versus Nasrat. Nasrat's coming off like a bad knockout loss. I'm not tripping. Like I remember him getting knocked out cold. That was so disappointing. Then Chris Padilla's coming off a draw. Padilla's good. He's known for like I feel like he's known for power as well as a thing. And I know Nasrat's coming off of getting caught. But Nasrat's so good. Like when Nasrat's in a flow, he's so good. My thing about Nasrat though is like coming off a certain amount of losses, like not a certain amount of losses, but coming off a specific loss where he kind of went cold. It's like I feel like fighters don't necessarily come back the same. I think Nasrat's really talented. I've always voiced that. Padilla's good too though. And Padilla has power, and Padilla can make Nasrat fight again. I just don't know if Nasrat's going to be himself. The thing is, if Nasrat's himself, I think he could beat Chris Padilla, who's pretty good. I remember thinking Padilla is good, powerful, but when I was watching his fights live, I remember thinking he's a bit overrated. I remember thinking that to myself, so I got to put that in the back of my head as I'm talking. Whereas I look at Nasrat, I think he's really good. Like Nasrat has some close fights too, but he always finds ways to muster it out, like get the win. But he gets hit a couple times, doesn't he, man? I'm just hoping his chin can last against Padilla. I'm kind of just going to follow my gut and go Nasrat. I think Padilla has the ability to win this one. Don't get me wrong. Fuck, I do think he has the ability to win this one, but I just think I trust Nasrat, man. The better Kelvin Gastelum. So I'm going to go Kelvin Gastelum's twin brother for the win, Nasrat Haqparast, who's representing Morocco usually, but I just saw his country say Germany. That was a bit weird. But yes. Next up, Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Shamil Gaziev. We got the Nigerian and the Russian man, you know. Nzechukwu's been good since he went up to heavyweight. Like, I'm not going to lie. He's been using his length really well. I feel like he's more accustomed to heavyweight because he moves a lot better compared to these heavyweights. Shamil is a slob and a blob. Shamil is just greasy and oily. Like, I don't nah, I don't know. This is going to be a fun fight. Like, Shamil is so, like, he looks so human after his last couple fights. There's a point where Shamil is the real deal, you know, the meal deal Shamil, you get me? But I'm not jacking it anymore, bro. I don't know. Like, but, like, Nzechukwu's not a world beater, but Nzechukwu, if you let him fight his fight, he'll just pick you apart and, like, use his movement. I'm assuming Shamil will try to grapple. Like, I know he's not heavy on it, but I can see him shooting. But if Shamil's going to just try those sloppy 1-2s that he usually goes for and kind of sits there, I think he's going to get pieced up by Nzechukwu. This is a tough one for me, honestly, because I can see it going both ways. For some reason, I have a hard time seeing Nzechukwu win because I feel like Shamil's going to use the clinch to his advantage, you know. But Nzechukwu picks his shots well. Like, I like people who pick their shots well. Kennedy Nzechukwu is one of those people. He's not going to finish Shamil, and that might be a bad thing. Like, you might have to hurt Shamil or finish him to win. I don't know, though. I think Nzechukwu is going to be able to, he's going to throw more probably. He's going to probably be more on the output, trying to stick on the outside, you know. And he's been looking good since heavyweight, you know. And he's obviously gave Uberg his only loss because Uberg tried to empty the gas tank and couldn't finish him. Man, this is a close one. I think it's 50-50, but I'm going to go Nzechukwu. I'm not confident enough to put Nzechukwu on parlays, but I think I could pick him against Shamil Gaziev. He's a slight underdog, which I understand why, because I do think Shamil objectively could just use grappling and be fat and hold him against the fence. But that's a weird one. But the thing is, if it's just staring at each other and Shamil trusts his striking, I can see him fall behind. Close fight. I'm gonna rock with the Nigerian, but I'm not confident in that pick at all. Honestly, I kind of want to switch to Shamil right now. Should I switch to Shamil right now? I don't know. Fuck, I never pick Nigerian picks right. I might as well just not, man. Damn, I don't know, man. I'm gonna stick with Nzechukwu, because yes, I trust that he gets it done. What is this message I just got? Okay. Anyways. Moving on, though. Jamil Emmers versus Lorraine Douglas is back, eh? They're like Brazilian Taporia. They gave him Jamal Emmers. Yeah, they're trying to give him a slam out knockout. Yeah, congratulations to Lorraine Douglas for the knockout. Jamal Emmers is gonna fight. Don't get me wrong, but he's just gonna. I think he's gonna get finished. Yeah, I think he's gonna get finished. I'm gonna go Lorraine Douglas, the Taporia variant. He's one of the Taporia variants. There's a couple Taporia variants going around. He's one of them. He's at featherweight too. Like he could actually run into Taporia's brother. I'm pretty sure. Oh, he's a bantamweight actually. I lied, but he could run into some other Taporia doppelgangers in this weight class. I like Lorraine's fight style. I think he has a good high guard. I think he has heavy hands. He rips to the body really well. His boxing's pretty good. I think Jamal Emmers might engage in the boxing a bit, but just be a significant step behind. I just don't know if his chin could take a straight punch for Lorraine Douglas. I'm gonna go Lorraine Douglas for the win. I think he's gonna knock him out too. I'm gonna go Lorraine Douglas by knockout. Why not? I think he knocks him out. I just have confidence in his ability. He's a minus 390, but there's actually surprisingly there's some value in that, just because you would think it'd be more. Jamal Emmers is not bad, but I'm gonna go Lorraine Douglas for the knockout win. We're out of the prelims and we're into the main card. Wow, Anthony Wint is on the main card. I'm just realizing it. Look at this guy's physique, gang. I'm not gonna lie, bro. That looks dangerous, bro. But he's a heavyweight and he's 5'11". He's like, he's like a turd, bro. Like, hell no, I ain't fighting this dude, bro. He's going against Terrence Chatman, who I literally know nothing about, but he's making his UFC debut, you know. Both guys making their UFC debut. Like I said, I think this fight's going to be under 4 minutes or less than 4 minutes, because I think Anthony Wint's just going to put it on him, guys. Look at those strikes landed per minute, because it's Dana White Contender Series fight. He landed 23 strikes per minute in that Dana White Contender Series fight, and it was just him chasing the finish. You know, that was kind of an easy pick, though. The guy who's standing in front of him looked kind of like he didn't want to be there. But, yeah, I think it's going to be Wint by knockout. Both guys are going to be chasing the knockout, that's for sure. Both guys are going to have knockout power, so it's going to just be a car crash. The height disadvantage might be a problem for Anthony Wint, but I'd be surprised if he gets caught, because, like, the way he swings and, like, kind of bobs and weaves, he's just so dangerous. I'm going to go Anthony Wint for the knockout victory. I think he's going to do it early. I think he's going to do it before round 2 even starts, so I'm going to go Anthony Wint winning in less than 4 minutes, probably by knockout. We got Charlie Judice back. Every time she's on a card, I just pick her to win. She's going against Chaves, who's 8-0, but I don't care. She's going to lose to Judice. Judice is going to get it done. Judice is actually one of the more decent flyweights you'll see. Her striking is kind of next level, and this Chaves girl doesn't have great grappling, so I think it's going to be a pretty easy pick going for Charles Judice. She's on the main card too, so that's WMMA on the main card. You got to respect that, I suppose. But yeah, I think Judice gets it done, so shout out Judice for the probably victory by either KO points against Chaves. Moving on. This is a pretty good one. Markel Mederos versus Mason Jones. Mederos was undefeated until recently, and he's coming off a draw. Mederos is good, but like sometimes I have a problem with his activity. Like he be landing good strikes, but I have a problem with the activity, whereas Mason Jones is more like just well-rounded as well. He's talented as well, but I don't really have a problem with his activity. Like it says both of them land about the same strikes per minute, but sometimes Mederos just kind of be standing there taking pictures, and I feel like that's when I feel like a Jones would like start low kicking or just keeping him occupied on the feet. And then Jones can mix in wrestling if he feels the need to, which I feel like it's a big difference for Mederos, because I've seen Mederos sometimes get taken down when fights are very competitive on the feet. I think Mason Jones has more paths to victory than Mederos, but I think Mederos can go in there and make it competitive. See, I'm saying Mederos because I'm going to Mexico next week, brother. You know, so I'm trying to get my Dale on. You know, get the accent a little bit good. But nah, Mederos might make it competitive. But I can see Mason Jones pulling away. I could actually see Mederos winning the first round, but then Mason Jones pulling away after that. Both guys pretty similar in stature. Jones does have a little bit of a reach advantage, but I think Mason Jones is going to get it done against Mederos. Could be a fun fight, but I got Mason Jones, so I'm backing him for the victory. RDR versus Roman Dolidze. RDR is too big of a favorite. Let's start there, honestly. He's too big of a favorite. This is his first fight at light heavyweight. He's looking huge. Of course, less of a weight cut means less of a chin problem, but he never really had a chin problem. He's always going to look sloppy. I want people to know he's not going to like go up weight and like look all of a sudden way better. He's going to be sloppy. He's still going to fight like himself. He's still a primary grappler, and I'm sure he's going to trust his grappling and initiate grappling exchanges with Dolidze, who's actually a pretty good grappler himself. Yeah, it's actually a close fight. Like I said, the odds don't make sense. I'm not even confident to put money on this fight, if you want me to be honest. But I think RDR is just like an awkward Dutch kickboxer. Like he might just step in with some knees that'll be draining. I think Dolidze will actually do a good like outbox him probably, because Dolidze is a pretty big guy too. So it's not like RDR like has a significant size advantage like he's used to having at middleweight, because he's bulking up to big numbers, because he's going against a pretty big light heavyweight. Wait, Dolidze is usually a middleweight too. I'm tripping. But Dolidze still is big. They're both two guys who are big for middleweight. Now they're at 205. Interesting. Yeah, but I just don't think the size event is going to be as significant for RDR. So that's going to make for a more competitive fight. I don't understand the odds for this one. I got to be honest. I think it's going to be a close fight. I could see RDR sneaking it away because he might rack on some more control time, and Dolidze might get fatigued holding all that body weight. And I do think RDR's grappling is superior to Dolidze's, even though Dolidze's a pretty decent defensive grappler. So I'm going to go RDR for the win, but I do think the odds are a bit too crazy. Like, I wouldn't put the house on RDR on anything because these odds don't make sense. The fight actually might go the distance, though. I can see them going the distance for sure. Dolidze is someone who's like going to fight smart and not really engage if he doesn't have to and like kind of run away, and I could just see them having a big clinch fest. So I'm gonna go RDR by points probably, or submission. But yeah, Spivac versus Victor Petrino. Petrino's coming off that win against Asplon, which was a close fight that he almost got finished in, and Spivac coming off that win against Dolidze. Like I said, I think this is going to go more than 1.5. I think it's going to escape the like knockout category. Petrino might start strong. It's going to be a good fight. Like, Petrino's listed at 6'2", but he looks bigger than that. Dude is massive, bro. He's going against Spivac, Spivac's win against Dolidze was very impressive because I feel like he, like I said, he weathered the storm and like kind of put it on him. He was still getting tagged up with some good shots, but he was eating them really well. But I think Petrino has more power. Petrino has a better low kicks than Dolidze, who's like hands heavy. I feel like Spivac is heavy on that front leg. The thing about Petrino is he gasses, and the thing about Spivac, like when you gas against Spivac, he's smart enough to like change levels. So like he might put you against the fence and then take you down and then kind of maul you. So I think Petrino might win the first, but after that, the second is going to be a coin toss, and third is going to be won by Spivac. It's going to come down to the second, in my opinion. I think the second is going to be won by Spivac. I could just see Spivac doing enough, like, and start mixing in the wrestling. I think the wrestling of Spivac is going to be mixed in, and that's going to be ultimately the deciding factor. And I think he's going to get it done against Petrino. Petrino's good, but I think Spivac knows when to mix it up, and I feel like that knowing when to mix it up is going to be the decision maker in this one. As far as the striking goes, I think Petrino's going to be cleaner, until he gasses, and then once he gasses, it's going to be Spivac all day. I don't even know the odds. Spivac is a small underdog. I'm not going to say underdog lock, but I am going to go Spivac for this one because I do have faith in his IQ. I'm relying on IQ because he needs IQ to win. If he just stands and trades with Petrino the whole time, it's going to be problematic. Brings us to the main event of the evening. Let me just say before talking about this, the underdog is Robocop right now. Hernandez is good. I've never really picked a Hernandez fight wrong. I've always known when Hernandez should have the advantage and like should go in there and win. Yeah, Robocop in his last one, he knocked out Ferreira. I watched that back before this video, and he landed a good 1-2. I'll give him that. But I was thinking about that shit. Like, I don't know. Like, he didn't throw much. Like, he was kind of on the defensive back and away the whole time until that happened. The thing is, Robocop is massive for middleweight. Like, he's a light heavyweight sized guy. Hernandez is very soft to the body, fluffy to the body. Robocop does like throwing that front kick to the stomach. Hernandez is good. The thing about Hernandez, he's not very great at actually offensive wrestling. I feel like that's a big mistake people don't understand about him. Like, his actual entries for his takedowns aren't the best, and like someone who's strong physically could stuff that, or someone who's decent at defending takedowns could stuff that and then keep it standing. And then when it's standing, I just think the power difference is going to be a little bit more significant. Like, if Robocop's an underdog, I might say this is an underdog lock. I might go ahead and say I can't lie, because I just see Robocop stuffing his takedowns and giving him hell on the feet. Now, a big thing about this is a 5-rounder. Robocop has shown that he's susceptible to gassing, which is why he got finished by Jared Cannonier, because he gassed out and Cannonier put it on him. That could definitely happen in a fight like this. If Robocop gasses out, it could be problematic. He did go the distance against Kopylov, though, and looked pretty solid throughout the whole time. But to gas out Robocop, you're going to need to put like constant forward pressure on him, like Anthony Hernandez is going to do. But I feel like that constant forward pressure puts Anthony Hernandez at risk of being finished by either a body shot, a body kick, or like some kind of heavy hands. So it should be interesting. Strickland rocked him with that 1-2 and ended up finishing him there too after hurting him to the body. I could see Robocop getting a finish against Anthony Hernandez, but if he doesn't, he might get drowned. It's going to be interesting. Robocop's good and he's massive, and then Hernandez is a dog. Hernandez can't really outdog people, but like when Hernandez is like giving up some size and reach, I've noticed he struggles sometimes, and he's going against a power puncher in Robocop. This is going to be a close fight. It's going to be a fun fight. Going to be interesting, but I'm going to go Robocop. I think Robocop's going to knock him out. I think Robocop's going to force it to be on the feet, stuffing the takedowns, and then we'll see how Anthony Hernandez could weather the storm, but I do have faith in Robocop winning. This is like one I want to say underdog lock for, but when I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, it sounds like I'm picking off Puncher's chance, which I hate doing, but I literally just see Fluffy's fluffy to the body. He's chinny to the body, and he's hittable, gang. It's not like he's not hittable, And then Robocop is like a bit smart. He's getting a little bit smarter, you know. I think he's going to be ready for 5 rounds. So I'm going to go Robocop for the win. He's massive, he's strong, and he has power. I think he's going to finish Anthony Hernandez in this one. But those are my picks. If I was going to do a lay that I would back, I'd say probably go. It's an interesting card. I was saying this card is easy to pick, but is it really? I'd probably go Gage Young, right? Probably go Gage Young. Lorraine Douglas. And to finish it off, fuck it, Robocop. I like that, honestly. I like that. That'd be a lay I'd say go for. That's a 3-legger. But let me know your picks down below. That's it for me. God bless. 2, 3.